Yeah, so when I meet a founder that I like and I think they have a good idea, the first thing, the real due diligence I do, the thing that really helps me decide whether to invest or not is I pick up the phone and I call somebody who knows them, who has worked with them, who, either they've worked for or they've worked with or has invested in a company they worked for. I almost always know somebody who knows them somehow. Um, I don't ask the founder if that's okay. I just do it, right? And I think every founder should expect that their investors are going to talk to people around them and say, who is this person? How are they? How do they work? Are they worth working with? That kind of thing. I don't, that's just how I do my work. How I do due diligence. I would expect founders to do the same thing, right? It's you're not working with a VC firm. You're working with a VC partner. You're working with a person, right? And that person is making a decision, and that person is going to work with you for the next 10 years if you're successful, pretty closely. They're going to help you decide about raising more money. They're going to help you decide about either exiting or growing or whatever you're going to do. They may sit on your board. So you need to know something about that person. And I think the only way to really find out about a person is to talk to people who've worked with them. You can go read all their tweets and you can go read their blog posts and you can read the news articles written about them, but none of that stuff is real, right? None of that stuff really tells you who they are. That's all public relations, right? So you want to talk to other founders who have taken their money. And I don't think you should be shy about just calling, it's like, oh, this person invested in these five other companies. I'm going to call the founders of those five companies. You don't have to ask the VC. You shouldn't ask the VC. You should just pick up the phone and call. And most people will be willing to talk to you if you say, hey, so and so is looking at my company. I'm thinking about them as an investor. I know that you've taken their money and they're an investor in your company. What do you think about them? How do you work with them? Tell me something about them, and people will usually be happy to tell you. Um, if they're not happy to tell you, that's a problem, right? So, I mean, you're not going to call and say, hey, do you think, Joe VC is a great investor? Is he really helpful to your company? And if the person on the other end of the phone says, yeah, they're fine, they're okay, yeah, sure, it's okay. Like that's a bad reference, right? That's somebody saying, do not take their money. If they don't say something like, what, they're super helpful, they've really, been the best VC we've ever had, people always kind of move to the positive side on these things. So I think you should call it and say, who is this person? How do they work? Can are they easy to work with? Should I take their money? And see what people say.